Yeah, I got it. Okay, so far we look into this, right? So what we have learned so far is like how do we install the Git locally, and let me just note it down here. So installation of Git locally, get the then creating account in GitHub. Okay. So after that, what we did is like we created a project and pushed it to like uh, created and moved project to GitHub. Okay. So this we have learned it to the command prompt, commands, and through UI. Okay. So through UI, and next one is like we looked into like cloning project from GitHub to Eclipse. Okay. So this in terms of like UI, so I showed you one option, but today we'll be discussing about like other thing. How do we exactly do it? Okay. So step wise, we'll see that how do we exactly create this. So the very basic steps that we are going to use. First is like we need to create a repository repo in GitHub. Okay. So after that, we are going to open Eclipse and add it here. Okay. Right. You'll see step by step. Okay. So I'll show you like how do we exactly do it. This is like one other process, one other way of doing the cloning. So let me go ahead and try to open this GitHub. So here I'm going to create a new repository. So this repo I'm going to call it as like demo test repo. So here I'm going to have created this project. Okay. So where do we get the URL? So this is the URL. Okay. HTTPS URL. So we have created logged into the GitHub account. Just we have created that particular repo. So this is like repo. Okay. Copy it. Now go to the Eclipse, and here you can see there is the option called search. You can search and search with the Git repository. Okay. Already we have this repository open here, and you can see this. These are the projects like we can clone for the if it is like a new one, we can click on the clone, and if you want to clone it from the GitHub, then you can click on this. And there is like adding an existing repository, so which is like already there in the local that you want to add it to the Git repository. Here it is like create a new Git repository, add it to this view. Okay, so here you can just do this. So cloning, we are discussing about like cloning the project. How do we clone? It's like click on this. Just you need to enter the URL. See, it is like already I have copied it, right? So it is taking it here. Okay. So click on it. You can see the option which is shown. Okay. Next, now it is going to ask you for the, yeah, you will click on the next here. Now it is going to ask you for the repository name. Okay. So project name. So git demo test repo. So this is what we are going to uh, create as a folder. Okay. So this what we are trying to do. We don't have anything yet local. We are trying to get it from the GitHub. So because GitHub we have repo created. So this repo I want to clone it. So now I click on finish. When I click on this finish, I can see this is what repository is showing. Okay. Now I can see so branches, local and remote still not at right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is like I'll just create a simple Maven project. So which is already created here, we can use it. So I want to create a new Maven project. Okay. So click on next. So here I'm going to type quick start. We'll search for the artifact IDs and version. Okay. So this is like simple program that I'm trying to do. Let me try with simple. Let's start. So archetype. Let's start. So you can see these are the sample programs that we have. So we'll take one sample, and this is like group ID. It is showing up all. So still we can go and search, which is like flexible for us. You can select it. So I'm selecting this one. So because it's like very simple project, you can see 1.4 version it is showing. We can take 1.1 or 1.0. Okay. So here, okay, let's go ahead with this one. So tester demo. So project name. Invalid project name test demo already exists. Okay. So we have this project already exists, it says. So we can do one thing. We can just add tester demo. Okay, click on finish. So test demo is already there. So that is the reason why it was not allowing us to create that one. So we can give like demo test repo, or we can just leave it as like a test demo. So now it is like building. Here you can see it is showing up like 33% building. It is still generating. So yes, I want to create this. So it is like created and it will show here. Okay. So what we can do is like I'll just try to copy it and paste it here. Open this pom.xml. So wherein we have already created skills, right? So I'm going to just take this. I'll take the properties files, everything from here, copy it. I'm just trying to save my time. So I'm just trying to copy everything here. Okay. So test.xml also I'll copy it and paste it in this project. Okay. So I'm copying this and pasting it here. It's a file that we have here, right? So I'm going to paste it here. So let's run it from this. So I'll close everything and see that first we need to test everything is working fine or not. Okay. So I'll open this test in XML and I'll try to run it. Test demo Maven one. So we have to, this file is like demo one. So we have to put the demo one here and a project name. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Okay, so everything is set. So let me just go ahead and try to run this and we should get some output for this. Okay, just to verify before uploading everything into the GitHub. Okay, so now if it is working fine, I will run it through the pom.xml also and we'll confirm everything is working fine. It is listening to this test engine now. So it is taking some time. Let me run it from, let me open this pom.xml and we'll check for the configurations also. We have done everything, configurations properly. Okay, so test in XML file, it will consider from the project itself. Okay, so now it is trying to execute it. You should get something in the console. like output. Yeah, this is working fine, right? This is a main project. So let me run it from the XML file also, pom.xml file, and then instantly event test. Okay, so we have 0 failures. So this is fine. And other thing is like, what can we do is like here. Now we have this pom.xml that has created like, everything is running fine. So what we need to do is like, now we have to map this. Okay. So whatever repository we have in the GitHub, so that should be mapped here. So how do you map it? Right click on it, go to team, and you can say that share project. Okay. Share project, it will ask you to map the repository. We have this repository already created, right? So demo repo, demo test report. So I'm going to select this one, click on finish. So when you finish, now it is like it is mapped to the demo repo master. Okay. Guys, 1 second, guys. I'm getting a call. So that we have done with this, right? Now you can see that nothing has been pushed so far into this GitHub. You can see that there is no code in it. So how do we do it now? So let me go here and try to right click on this. If I say commit, so I have a like all unstaged. Okay, still these are not added at all. So let me just drag and drop this things here. So I got it. Now I'm going to say that added all files. Okay, so this is the commit that I'm going to commit. If I say commit, what happens is like commit and push, it will push it to the Git repository. Okay. So let me show you one thing here. Yeah. So when this would be happening here in this case is like, now you see, we have kind of like this is working repository and this is like staging area. Okay, working area, working tree, staging area, and then we have like a so Git, what we say, and then we have like a GitHub. Okay. So what happens in this case is like, now you can see there we have like this one different areas. Okay. Let me just write it down here. Working directory or working area, and we have like a staging area. staging directory. We'll call it a directory. Okay. So this is like local repository. This is what we have, a remote repo. Okay. So what happens in this case is like, see guys, is how exactly this would be moving it, right? You can see. So this is working directory and this is staging directory. And, this is kind of like a local. It's kind of like a remote. Okay. So whenever I say, for example, I'm going to push. Okay. Push, not push, sorry, yes. Okay. So when I'm going to add something, okay, if I say what are the commands that we have used, like we have used git commands, like, okay, so what are the git commands that we have used? We have used git init. Okay, git init in the sense it's going to create the empty directory. See, after that, what happens is like when you say git add, okay, so let's note down these commands here aside and we can just see what exactly happens when we are performing these commands. Okay, git init, git add, and we have to give a file name or something. Okay, so then after we have like git. So if you have anything here, you have to, okay, let me just put it here, git command, git commit. After that, we are going to put the message. Okay. See, after that, what we have to do is like, we have to use git. If branch is created, then we can say that git branch, whatever you have, like, main branch, that we can put it here. And another one is like, we can just add git remote add, and you have to give the URL of that. See, after that, we are going to add this git push. If we can't, we can call it as like origin. Okay. Git minus your hyphen your origin, that will see that what is the comment that we will do. See what exactly happens when we are saying git init, it's going to create empty directory. When git add, when we say git add, so what happens is like this, whatever we are trying to add files. So those files will be moved to the staging area. Okay. So after staging area, so when this will happen, so this will happen when you say that git add. Okay. So git add. So when these things will be moved forward, so when you say that you are saying, so when you say git, so we go here and here we are going to say that git commit. So when you say commit, so these things will be like, from working area to staging area, we use git add. From if you want to move the code from staging area to local area, then we are going to use the git commit. Okay. So now we go and try to see. We'll open this Eclipse and see here. I'm just clicking on this commit. Okay. So commit, you can see that what is happening now. So it's like just it is moving from staging area to local area, but it is not there in this particular GitHub. Okay. GitHub report. So where these things are there, so these things are ready for the push. When I just say this and I refresh, so here everything is like ready for the push. Okay, so we have added everything and we have committed, then after we are trying to push it. Okay, when I say push, okay, so when I say push, so what happens is like, when I say git push, so this is going to push it to the remote repo. Okay, now how do we do it? So go back to the Eclipse and here you can see right click and you have first time if you are pushing it, you can say push master. Okay, push branch master. So you can click on push. Okay, now you can see that it is pushing close. Let's close and go and try to refresh this and check whether the project is uploaded or not. See, here we have a project. Okay, the project is created. Now this is fine, guys. But now, if I make any changes here, okay. So I'm going to add one more hello world. Okay, something. Just a minute. Now I want to have this file here. Okay, you see, we have source. Let's download and see. or if the changes are not yet moved. Okay, to move the changes, what I have to do now? Right click on this, go to the teams and commit. Okay, only one file will be showing it, right? These are the latest changes that we have done. Okay, so added some more statements. Okay, so why do we need to see? For example, if you are the only person, if you are making changes, that we don't need to have this GitHub, but we have a lot of people working in the project. For example, see, I have 10 people working in the project. Okay, so let us consider once again, guys, just give me a second.
A ಕೆಮ್ಮಸಿರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಳ ಹಾಕಿ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕ ಹೊರದಾನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅಮ್ಮ ಕೇಳ ಇದು ಹಾಕಂತಂದು.
So now you see that, sorry guys, sorry for the background noise. So here you can see that the people is working in these different locations. One is working in USA and one is working in UK. Okay, one is working in Australia and one is working in India. Okay, so here it is like a GitHub. So everyone will have their local Gits. Okay, like whatever we had. So now you see I am working from India and I'm making some changes. Okay, so these changes I'm making and I'm taking the changes from the others. Okay, so this guy is also working from Australia and he's making some changes and he's like he's taking some changes. Okay, so getting some changes, making some changes and some changes. Okay, so we'll talk about these errors and what do we exactly call them is like, if you are trying to get the changes from that GitHub, then we call it as like a pull. If you want to push your changes, like if you want to reflect your changes from Git to the GitHub, then we are going to call it as like a push. Okay, so from Git to the GitHub, push. From GitHub to the Git, we are going to call it as like a pull. Okay, we'll talk about like few things like, you know, what is push, merge, pull, fetch. Okay, so these are interview questions that you may get it. Okay, so they are going to ask you like, what is your daily process and how do you push, merge, or pull requests? How do you exactly use them? Okay, now I'll show you how do you exactly do it. Okay, so when we are trying to push it, make your changes reflected in this remote repository, then we are going to call it as like a git push. Sorry. Okay, git push. So git pull is we are getting it from the remote repo. Okay, so this is called git. Okay, now let's talk about what happens here. See, so you can see that star mark here, right? So star mark is nothing but this is ready for the staging. Okay, so star is like this is ready for the staging. If you, for example, if you close it, now you see that it is still showing that it is in the staging area. Let's go to this commit and I'll show you like, so these notations are important, guys, to understand whether that is in staging area or not. Okay, I'll just put it here. Now we see that it is not, the changes are unstaged. Okay, changes are unstaged. So stages are like they are locally available. Okay, in the working directory. So when you add this to the staging area, its notation will change. Okay, so there you can see that black star mark. So I'm going to add the statement here. Now I'm going to commit. Okay, so when I say commit, it is not reflected yet in the GitHub because we did not push the changes. We are just committing it. Commit is nothing but it is moving from where to where it is moving. It is moving from this to this. Okay, so staging directory, this to this. Okay, just to commit it. Now I need to push it. How do I push it? So here you can see using it. I click on this Okay, so if it is like not stage, now you see that it's not showing up at stage. Okay, so what we have to do now? Okay, so it is like, okay, sorry, it is like it is showing here. I just realized now. So now you can see that when I see this comment, we don't have anything here, but it is available in the local. So it this notations, it this symbol shows like there is one item to push it. Okay, one item to push it. Arrow mark, upside arrow mark is like push, downside arrow mark is like pull. I'll show you how do we exactly check this one. So now right click on this and we have already opened this one, right? So, but this is not required. So just to check it, like whether these stages are there in the staging area or not. Okay, so they are already available and we have committed. So that is moved from staging to the, where it is moving from? It is moved from staging to the local repo. Okay, so staging to the local repo. So now we have to move the changes from local to the remote. How do we do it? Is like right click on this and you can see there is the option push branch. Okay, push branch master. We can do it, but I want to see that how many branches are there. Okay, so there can be number of branches. Okay, down the line we are going to create one more branch. I'll show you how to create. Now you see that go here and you can see that there is an option like push tag fetch from. Okay, so just click on this push. It will ask you like which branch you want to push it. Okay, so in this you'll see that there is a master branch. This is source repository. We have master and this is like destination. Click on this add spec and click on next. So when you say next, it will show you the commit. Okay, so when you see this, these are the changes that we have made, right? So now you see that when you click on finish, these changes will be moved to the repository, remote repository. I can go here and refresh this. All the changes are applied here. Okay, so this is a process of pushing the changes. Okay, this is a process of pushing the changes. So we added those records, we committed then after we pushed it. Okay, so this is the process that we have to follow. Now let us take like the person who is sitting in US. He had made some changes and he pushed these changes. I want those changes. Okay, I want those changes. For example, here let us consider he's making some changes. Okay, so he may be making some changes. He says that stop printing hello world. This many times. Okay. Whatever it is, it can be logic or something that I'm just writing some statement here that I need to put. Okay. So he has written some comments here. So he says that you don't need to print this many times, print only once or something. Okay. So now he's going to make the changes, commit the changes, saying that updated. So I have added a change to not print hello. These are like just comments. Okay. Just comments. This is nothing but we are doing it from the UI. Okay. In in GitHub repo. But this can be done using the command prompters. Okay, so commenting changes now. Now we see that there's some change. Okay, so now I want to get it. Now I want to get the change. So how do I get the change? There are two things, guys. Okay, fetch and pull. Okay, fetch is nothing but fetch is a command. So which will help you to see the changes here. Okay, when I say fetch. Okay, so when I say fetch, what it does is like it simply fetches the changes, but it will not save those changes locally. Okay, it is important, guys. Okay, so it will just fetch the change. Okay, so now you see right click on this. I'm going to go to the teams and I'm going to say that fetch from origin. If you have only one branch, then you can directly click on fetch from origin. Otherwise, you go to this and you can see that fetch from origin. Okay, so here it is already there. Okay, so here we have like master branch, which is already there. So let me, it's like star, it is showing that like we can use this master branch. I'm just removing this one. So I'm going to finish it. It is showing some change here. See, This change from where we are getting committed by GitHub. So what is that change? Which file has been changed? This is the file. Okay. So you see this. This is a change. Okay. So I got information from the guy who is sending in the US. So over the call, he said like, I have made some changes. You can take the latest changes from that particular class. Okay. So what I'm going to do is like, I'll just click on close because now it is like, I got the information. Now do you see this? This is down arrow. Down arrow shows like there is something change which is made on this particular file. Okay. So right click on this. Now fetch is like only it will show you the changes. It will not make the changes. Okay. It will not like, reflect those GitHub changes in the Git. Now right click. Now I want to get that code. Okay. I understand. Okay. This is what I have to take it. Now right click on this. Go to the teams. Now you can see that you can pull. Okay. So there are two options, pull and pull. Pull is like, so it's like repository, which repository you want to point. We have a master repository and what do you want to do here? Okay, these are the different options. Don't worry about this. By default, we'll have a merge. Okay, so these are like little advanced concepts that I don't want to discuss now. So I'll click on this merge. Okay, click on this merge and I'm clicking on finish. Now you see this. So what is happening? The change, whatever we have made, like whatever changes that some other person has made, are pushed into that particular changes into the GitHub that I want to get it. So I'm getting it here. Okay. Now you see it will show that what are the changes that we are getting. Some more statements, and this is nothing but update app.java. Okay. So when you click on this, you see that we have the version. So now we don't have any changes here. Master. We are not pushing, we are not pulling. Everything is like sync. Okay. Now you see that. Refresh this. Nothing has been changed in the GitHub, and it's like we are sync with both of them. Okay, so this is all about like, do you understand this, guys? So what I explain, fetch is like it will push the changes. Push is like permanently it will push the changes from local to the remote repo. And we have like a git pull is like it will show the changes as well as like it will make those changes. Okay, from like git pull and git fetch, the difference between git pull and git fetch is like fetch it will show, but pull is like it will fetch and it will merge in the sense the changes that we have in the remote repo that will be taken locally. Okay, so that's nothing but it's kind of like a hard saving. This is like a just to showing the information. Now let us take another example here. So this is like important for understanding the merge concept. Okay, merge concept. Now, there is some change. Okay, I'm deleting this changes. Okay, so somebody like Australia, the guy who's working in Australia, he made changes. Okay, don't write all these things. So you say that, please. Okay, I have removed a few unwanted statements. Changes. Okay. Now you see that the guy who is staying in Australia, he made some changes. But when you see here, the changes are not reflected. Okay. But what I did is like, okay, I'm going to add one more statement here saying that, okay, this is what I want to do. Now you see that I have made the changes here. Okay. I made the changes here. Now, observe carefully. Here is a change and here is a change. Okay. So this is like, let us take like we have two versions of file. One is like on a single file. Let us take that this version is like, there is the A file and he made A1 change and the same file I'm working on it. Okay. So I made A2 changes. Okay. So the original version is like, this is the original version. Let us consider that this is the original version. But before that, what he has done is like, he made changes to this A file and he pushed these changes. Now, original version A1 is A is replaced with A1. Okay. So before pushing my changes, he has pushed it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is like, I will try to go and push it down. So on top of his push, I'm going to push it. Go to this team and now push branch. Now what happened? So it says like rejected, non-fast forward. Non-fast forward. So why this issue has come is like, see, if both persons are working on a single version of the file. Okay, single version of the file, and we have like here you can see single version of the file. When I go here, I have this changes. Okay, so he has removed some statements here, and but here I'm adding few more statements here. Okay, his changes are there. Before, if I try to push my changes on top of his changes, then what will happen is like we are going to see this non-fast forward. Okay, non-fast forward. When you say that non-fast forward, so it's nothing but there we have some problem. Here it is like push to this particularly. The reason is like we are trying to make our changes before taking the changes. Okay, so there is no sync in between. I have a different version here, we have a different version, and here we have a different version. If I have that version, okay, the version whichever I have here, if I have this version on top of it, if I'm making any changes, then I can push my changes directly. But if somebody else is making the changes, after their changes, I'm trying to push it before syncing it. Okay, there is no sync. Okay, there is no sync. It's nothing but see what is happening here. This person is like now the person who is working in Australia, he is like in sync with this. Okay, so it's like everything is in between is like Git and GitHub. But here, when you see that, I have like now it is like I have A2, but before taking that A1, I'm directly want to make the changes on A file. Okay, so which is already overwritten by the other person. In that case, what happens is like it will throw this error, non-fast forward. Okay, to avoid this, what we have to do is like there is an option called merge. Okay, so first is like I'll go and try to fetch the changes. Fetch the changes. I want to see that what the changes other person has done. Okay, click on this. Now it will show the changes here. Okay, so when you say finish, it will show the changes here. See. What are the changes? The person has made some changes here, committed by GitHub. Okay, so these changes I have to get it. Okay, I have to get it. Now what I will do is like there is two options, guys. Okay, one is like you can go and pull the changes, but when you pull the changes, what happens is like it will throw the error here. Why this error it is showing? If you have a sync, then you can pull it. But there is a change. Before taking that change, you want to like pull the changes. In that case, it will throw this error. Pull operation was cancelled. So how do we resolve this? Now see, it is like down there is a pull option. Now we have an option called go to teams. There are two things, guys. Okay, two things. One is like you can stash your changes. Stash is like I'll discuss this little later. But the option I'm showing is stash your changes, or you can go to the merge. Okay. Now it is like I want to get all the data that whatever there in the GitHub. Okay, the latest version change, file change, and I want to merge it. When I click on merge, it will show. So I'm discarding my changes. Okay, I'm discarding for now. I'm just discarding my changes. Now it's like all the data whatever we have is like it's going to show you is like no, whatever changes I made here, I have added one more statement, right? I'm just discarding that, and now I'll go to the teams. I'm just clicking on merge. So when you say merge, see what is happening now. What is happening? The latest changes which are there in this particular GitHub has been merged. Okay, merged. But for example, now you see GitHub. Okay, let it be. Now I'm going to try to commit changes. Okay, so I'm committing it. Just enter. Okay. Okay, I'm just added statements. Now it's like there is a one push that I am trying to do it. Okay, so when I merged it, what happened now? My code has been overridden. Okay, my code has been overridden. Now I am trying to push my changes. Okay, again see what happens now. See what happened here. Let me go and try to check it now. See, all the data is like again, it is like synced. Okay, again it is like I'm going to repeat it again, guys. Okay, I try to understand it. Okay, let me know if you have any doubts now. I'm going to repeat it. I am just removing everything now. Okay, the person who is sitting in Australia is making changes, and he has added like remote comments, remote statements, some comments I'm writing. Okay, commit now. Now on top of it, I'm making some changes here. Okay. So I removed this. I'm saving it. I'm trying to directly go to this and I want to push the branch. Now you see that you'll get a non-fast forward commit. Okay. So to avoid this, the thing is like directly you can go here and you can see first is like go to this teams. You have staging area. So committing changes. I'm going to commit it. Okay. So now you see that one, it will say that one change ahead. Okay. So it's like one change ahead to this particular thing, but one, if I'm trying to pull it now, so what happens is like it will throw the error. Okay. Go to the teams and you can, okay, I'm going to just pull. See what is happening now? So it is like pulling the changes. I committed my changes and pulling the changes. So what it is saying that see, head is pointing to this particular command, but master branch, what is the master branch that you have? This is nothing but the merge issues. Okay. So merge issues. When I'm trying to see, one is up, one is down. One is up, one is down. Okay. One push is ahead and one pull is like we are behind one pull. Okay. So it's nothing but it is showing like this we call it as like a merge conflicts. Okay. Merge conflicts. Now it will ask you to give the statement, or it will ask you to make the changes and which one you want to move it to the master branch. Okay. Move it to the GitHub. Okay. When this will happen is like when the single person or group of people, they are working on something and they are like pushing these changes, and when you directly pull those changes, then what happens is like there we have a merge conflict on a single file. Okay, remember, on a single file. If you are making changes on a different file, that is not, we don't need to worry about it. But see, for example, app file, I'm working on it and the other person is also working on the same app file and is making changes. So now Git will ask you like which changes you want to put in your file. Your changes, the other person changes. Okay. Now who has to work on this? Both you and the other person have to work closely, and you can see that, okay, boss, you can remove this one. I don't need this one. Okay. This statement I don't need. So which statement you want to put? You want to put this statement. So along with, you want to put some more statement. Yes, I want to put, yes, this is my code. Please use this. Now what you can do is like remove this. Okay. So it is like this kind of an notation it is showing. So this is not part of your code. This is part of the GitHub. So GitHub is asking you like which code you want to put it. Okay. Now you see, I have added this. Now I will say that go ahead and push my changes. Okay. But still we have like kind of a merge conflict. How do we resolve this? Go here. And if you pull the changes, what happens? It's going to throw the error. Okay. So for this, I'm going to use, sorry, I need to commit this one. I just missed one step. Go to this. Now commit the changes. Okay. We have made these changes, right? Once you add it, now see what happens. Your changes are taken care. Okay. Now it is like conflict resolved. I'll say that it's a merge conflict of master. So conflicts. So there is the conflict here. Okay. What I try to do is like I try to directly push the changes, but it is not accepting. Why is it not accepting? There is no sync in between these two versions of the file. Now I'm going to write a comment. Resolved. Merge conflicts. Okay. Now commit and push changes. See what is happening here? Two changes. Committing changes. Another one is like whatever changes we have made locally. So that will be moved here. So when you just refresh this, you have the changes which are made by me. Okay. But during resolving conflicts, we have to connect with the team. Okay. The person who is making the changes, because now we see that we have two things are there. One is like he has made some changes and the other one is like I have made some changes. If I try to push my changes, his changes are gone. To avoid this, we have to sit together and we have to resolve the conflicts. Okay. How do we resolve the conflict? Now we see this. This is how we'll be resolving the conflicts. Okay. So let me refresh this. Now still it is like showing one change. Like you can see that there is a there is like if we have a greater than symbol, it will show that we have made some changes. Okay, if you don't have any greater than symbol after this greater than, not the expand, this is expand collapse. Okay, but here you have a greater than symbol. Okay, if you have this symbol, then there is something that is still lying in the commit box. Let me see that one. See, there is some change. Okay, so because I made here, just I removed one space, right? So that is the reason why it was showing it. Now if I remove this, now you see that we don't have anything. Okay, these are the changes I made. So that is the reason why it is showing here. So let me do one thing. I'll just make the changes and save it. Okay. Now you see that we have two versions. Like here, the changes are whatever changes I made are there. And here, these are the latest changes. Now you go and try to pull. It will say nothing to pull because everything is like in sync with this. Okay, nothing to update, everything up to date. Okay, now you go and push it. It will say nothing. Okay, so when you push it, there is like, okay, there is one change that we have made, right? So let me just push it and close it. Just taken this to the master branch. Close it. Okay, let me just do one thing. I'll just commit and after that we'll see that. So just to, yeah, we don't have anything to commit also. Like it's only refreshing here. I just need to refresh it. Now you see, if I pull it, we don't have anything to pull because everything is up to date. If I try to push it, there is nothing to push. Okay, so it's like it will just take the push. Okay, so now you see that we don't have anything. Now we need to understand like whether any changes are there in the repository. Okay, I mean like in remote repository. To understand this, we need to go here. We need to perform this fetch from. Okay, my advice is for you guys, whenever you are working on this Git, first you have to perform this Git fetch. Okay, Git fetch is like it will show you if there are any changes. Now you see that it is showing like everything up to date. But if you make any changes here, before pulling those changes, I'm going to add a few more things here. Okay, I'm just adding it. I'll commit it. Now you go here. When you say pull, it will what it does is like it will automatically merge the changes. Okay, merge the changes in the sense if you are trying to, if you have any local changes. Okay, if you have any local changes, those changes will be gone. Okay, so before doing that, better you can go and perform this fetch from. Okay, now it will show what are the changes that we have. Okay, these are the changes that we made, right? So you can just open this. It will show you which file has been changed. Now you can open it. It will show. It will compare both of them. Okay, what are the changes that we have in remote repository? These are the changes. Where are those changes are actually applied after this line? Okay, so this is local version and this is Git version. Okay, now you understand about it. Now what you can do is like, yes, I want these changes. So how do you do this? Right click on this and you can go to this team and then click on pull. When you say pull, the changes will be available here. Okay, so this is how like now you can see that if you want to perform it again, it will show nothing is changed. If you go and try to fetch it from this origin, it will show nothing here because everything is up to date. Okay, so these are the things, guys, as part of like Git and GitHub. So you need to understand the difference between these commands, okay, and how this things will be working. And merge is like if you say merge, and there's like one other command that we use, right? Merge. Okay. Okay, guys, let's connect tomorrow. I thought like today I can complete this with the Jenkins, but yeah, no worries. Tomorrow would be the last class for us. Only Jenkins are left. And are you clear about this concept? This is very important, guys. Okay, so please try to look into this video and try to understand. And few things are like, you need to remember these things. Okay, so how do we exactly use it? So there are a lot of things that we can do with the command. Okay, so commands will definitely help you to understand a better way, but for practicing, you can start practicing this first and later you can jump onto the commands. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yes, thanks for your time. Let's meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, sir.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.